Cool. Let's continue. What are we on now? Part 8? Part 8, because we did 4 Star Droids, a shopping trip, an Easy Devil, and a Pluto. So back to planets. Jupiter. Jupiter is probably the most technical stage in this game. Again, to cycle through the planets this way, you push right, and you will follow this cycle just by pushing right. So just push right once and go to Jupiter. So Jupiter's stage has a weird mechanic. You can either be indoors or outdoors. If you're indoors, you have normal physics. If you're outdoors, you have low gravity physics. So let's talk about that menu that just happened, actually, of all things. It's just the menu. Pause, push right. And again, I'm mirrored here in my camera, but this is me pointing on the screen to the right. If you just push right, you will menu to Pluto. If you menu left from here, you will go to Mars. So, but that's your menu. Just push right. So this stage has a lot of tight jumps. And again, you have low gravity now because we're outside. There's one of those magnet kind of enemies here again. So you need to kind of take this really short hop. You don't want to push A as little as possible, but you don't want to push it much more than that either. If you want to kind of cheat here, you can take a full charge from the first room and just kind of forget about this tight jump, go full jump, just blast it, and then switch to Pluto. It doesn't lose that much time over doing this, but this is the faster strat to just go. I doubled back there because it was a bad jump. You can kind of get it head on. The next thing you're going to notice in the stage, so I'm going to go back and talk about it again for a second here. Way back in the weapon video, I mentioned that the big deal with Pluto's weapon is that you kind of charge it for a second and you get this slash attack and you get iframes out of it. And depending on how long you charge it, you use less weapon energy. I believe if you get a 15 to 29 frame, is that what it is, Mannix? Charge Pluto attack, you use half a unit of weapon energy. And given that we are not getting weapon energy back between stages, we don't want to use a lot of Pluto. We want to spam Pluto because we love getting iframes for doing nothing and not taking damage. This enemy here is kind of similar to the Crystal Joes in 5NES. As long as he's sparking like this, he can't take damage. And he's going to fire this shot that actually is quite a large vertical hitbox. Like, if Mega Man is standing on this platform, it's going to look like it's kind of here, and that shot will hit Mega Man. So, our goal is to skip past all these, I call them Jupiter Joes. I don't know what their name actually is. Sorry, Tonic. But to land here and get that like kind of 15 frame charge and dash into this guy, it'll do absolutely nothing to him, but we will get iframes out of it. And then we want to slide jump. That's going to be the theme of this stage. Small hop here. Saw the lemon to do that. Quick and go. There's another dash going on here, so like that's another half charge. There's the shot, by the way, that if we didn't have iframes, this is going to hit Mega Man standing all the way over here. It's going to like just tip the top of his head, I guess. This dash is to avoid this shot that's coming. There is a little bit of managing those magnet enemies to make sure they fire their shots in the correct direction. Yeah, I did go over that. You saw that. That jump looked a little spooky, if you ask me. But there it is. I'll look at that one more time, because that jump scared me. Whoa! There's a lot of Mega Man that's still on that pillar when he jumped, and look at that landing. All right, same deal. Land in front of him, use a quick Pluto dash, get through him. So I believe at this point, I'm going to fall straight down and then do a dash through this shot. This is to make sure that this guy's shot goes to the left. Because if you land up here and that shot decides to go to the right, you will take damage and be sad. And then that enemy won't actually despawn. It'll bounce and start coming back. So again, same deal. Half charge, or at least I'm going for a half charge. If I'm failing to get the half charge, that's on me. It's all about managing this weapon meter. Because the like quarter, third, whatever charges, half a unit of weapon energy. If you go a little longer, 1 unit. If you get the full charge, you're going to use 2. So you want to use short charges here as much as possible. And that's basically the screen. Use the short charges, get yourself iframes, get through, be happy. So this screen, use a small charge of Pluto, get the iframes, climb the stairs, and go. Pretty simple. So this guy, if you slide to start, this guy will start just firing shots down. The shots go in the same pattern every time. There's no RNG. That's what you want to do. And remember, you can slide across this gap. Don't worry about falling in if you slide. If you jump over this gap, this enemy is going to electrify the floor and give you like a little damage plane that you will have to wait out. If you're not comfortable with this strat for whatever reason, Venus is the weapon of choice for taking out enemies on the ceiling. But we're going to slide. We're just going to wait that shot out and then go. And so here comes a little bit of fun. Our friend Joe is over here. And there's no room in front of him on the platform. This is our Pluto dash space. So I believe it is land on the left edge. So somewhere right around here, I'm going to fire a lemon so that in this landing, it's only going to be that quarter charge. That's sort of the theory that we're going with. Take this quarter charge and you take this dash and you'll get to around here. I'm not sure if I try to slide jump out of it or if I just kind of accept that I'm getting a very small dash that's going to start from here and sort of ride in itself over to here and make the jump. This is a tight jump, and this is why this stage is annoying. You're going to have a lot of use Pluto, oh god, don't die, and then jump again. So, and there's that. So this becomes a short charge in that distance. There's Joe on the right. There's your dash. The dash actually fully ended. Mega Man's in iframes right now. You can't even see him. Ta-da! That enemy doesn't really give you a lot of space to really do anything else with. I forget if you can jump into him and just kind of succeed anyway. Again, if he fires this shot through here, you will get hit on this platform. He takes 5. He has 4 hit points, so if you want to use a full charge, and I forget if a lemon will hit him from there, that's how you get rid of the Joe and move on otherwise. So this bouncing ball, I don't know what this is actually really powerful. It does a lot of damage. Either here on the ground or up here. Your movement is to do this. You want to take like one of Mega Man's marching steps at either of those points. At least I think you do. And then unleash that small charge of Pluto, and you'll actually take it out on the top. You can also kind of dash into the wall here. It's a slightly safer if losing a few frames. It's a slightly safer if losing a few frames strat, but you will get through the screen. You'll have your iframes, and you can just go. Ta-da! We killed it. Whatever. That gets to this screen. Nothing going on here. You can break those blocks with Pluto Dash, and I forget what's over there. It doesn't matter. There's a large weapon energy drop on the screen. If for some reason you need it, just make sure you kill this bee with lemons from the ladder. This next screen is kind of fun. So let's see what I do here. You definitely want to Pluto a little bit to get through this enemy and then do like a slide jump. So if you're good, and despite my time in this game, I'm not good, you don't switch to Neptune here. I'm bad. So you can kind of take a small hop through here and the low gravity will carry you. If you take a high jump, you will bonk and come down here. With Neptune, there is another of those, like, you know, angry magnet guys over here, you want to kind of hold right and let the Neptune shot take him. Don't hold upright, because with low gravity, that shot's just going to go and fly to someplace out in deep space, and you don't want that. So this shot took him out before he was able to do damage. If you have Pluto, I believe you take the short hop here and Pluto dash again and just go through whatever he comes out with. If you don't kill this enemy, keep in mind he's going to hit this wall and come back if you're not going fast enough, and that lags the game a little bit, which changes the timing slightly for the worst jump in the game. So here's the shot. Just keep an eye on that shot. So right here is Joe, and again, there's like no space. But this time we have low gravity. The problem is, Joe, we have not hit the checkpoint in this stage yet, and we've been in this stage for quite a long time. My split timer, which actually goes all the way back to Pluto, is at 140 right now. Yes, you're basically losing a minute if you die here into this giant chasm. This is where it's imperative to kind of do one of those jump as late as you can and full jump over as far as you can jumps. If you do it right, you'll land actually on the right side of Joe, and you'll get damage boosted that way. If you get damage boosted to the left, it's not always a kill. You can still land kind of in the middle. Manic suggests using Break Dash a little bit too if you want to get a little further into his hitbox. Your mileage may vary, but yeah. And again, this shot from Joe, if you stand here and fight him, is going to hit you. You kind of want to hit him with the full charge, jump the shot, and hit him with a lemon on the way down if you want to fight him. Again, right, this is the last enemy before the checkpoint. When you're playing this game casually or you're just kind of picking up the run, yeah, don't even worry about this right away. That jump is scary. And this is the checkpoint room. So with saltwater, you're kind of lobbing this shot immediately to take this guy out. With Buster, you would do kind of the same thing. Come here and fire the full charge across the screen, take him out. With Pluto, I believe you would just kind of dash up on this top platform and use your iframes to get to the ladder. That sort of juke back, double back motion was mostly to land on the platform and make sure I got the jump off. Here, just like a lot of other Mega Man games, fall off the ladder and jump up. If you have the magnet hand, because you're playing semi-casually, that's a great weapon, life drop to pick up. So here's another set of alternate strats for you. It's slower, but actually still quite effective to fire some Venus bubbles up here and let them take out this guy. The hammer takes 2 Venus bubbles as well. You just kind of get directly in his face and you just wham, wham, and blow him up. We're not going to talk about the backup strats, though, beyond that. We're going to talk about Pluto strats. So you want to dash, jump, slide, jump. I believe what's actually happening here is you're triggering that extended Pluto iframe glitch as you slide through the electrified floor. Which, again, don't ask me how it works. I don't know, other than I know I don't get hit when I should get hit. These 2 lemons here are actually going to make it so the dash kills this guy. Do you like drops of death in your Mega Man games? Because, by the way, this is an icy floor with ice physics attached to it. So killing this enemy is a little bit of a risk. The payoff is we're starting to get deep into that Pluto ammo. We might get a weapon drop, and weapon drops at this point are very welcome, especially large ones. So there you go. There's that slide. And Mega Man somewhere around here, Mega Man was still sliding through and stopped flashing, and we made it all the way up to here. Yeah, it might. Mannix is suggesting it's like the flash stopper in from Brightman in 4. It might be. I honestly have no idea. So again, jump up here, 2 lemons, break dash, kind of gives you a chance for a drop. shoot that bee with 2 lemons. Remember, with Pluto, you can shoot lemons without charging. That's going to give you a drop. This enemy, at this point, it is faster to break dash through it. I like to conserve the ammo here and just fire 4 lemons into him. But dashing is definitely faster if you can. Same thing here with this guy. You know, give this enemy a moment, because if you go immediately, it's going to stop here, and now you have rocks coming out over the pit, and that's kind of scary. If you just wait a moment, he's going to make it all the way over there. This is kind of like the scary jump in the game. It's possible, I think, to make the short jump with iframes from Pluto and go. I'm just going to damage boost here. This jump is extremely possible. Break dashing through that is extremely possible. It's also scary. 100% requires you go up to trigger these 2 blocks to go away. When you come back down onto the screen, those 2 blocks will have raised up, and they'll be over here. When you go down there, you get the gem. You go through this little sequence. There's a spike fall. I think there's even an E-tank involved. I think the E-tanks might even be up. And when you eventually go right from there, you actually end up on the same screen. The game just kind of messes with you. So if you go up and down and you get in a weird place, you'll eventually end up on this next screen anyway. So this might really be the worst screen in the game, because you have you have 2 of these Joes up against cliffs, and you know that what we're gonna really do here is kind of dash to the end and try and jump through them. You need 3 Plutos for this screen. 1 for this guy, 1 for an enemy in the middle, and 1 for the last one. Yeah, this is where runs go to. Jupiter stage as a whole is where runs go to die. You can do the 4 lemons to just kill this guy without using Pluto, but in this case, you have to use Pluto anyway. So you might want to use 2 lemons to soften them up, and then Pluto dash through. That's all for the chance of a drop, which is probably going to kill you anyway. So, you know, do what you want to do. You can kind of see that short dash and then the slide jump there. That's another thing you can do just to kind of help it a little bit. Excuse me. Again, this is a dash up here because this enemy hurts way too much. Rip that small drop. So here's Joe. Here's another small platform. And here's what I'm hoping is not a very long charge. You can slide cancel Pluto, we proved though, so. There you go. Just kind of going through it. Mega Man looks like he should not have iframes right now, but we're going. And there's that. So Jupiter hangs out on the ceiling, and I did say earlier that Venus is the best weapon for taking out enemies on the ceiling. Jupiter is no exception. So Jupiter likes to kind of try to hover above you somewhere before destroying you with the evil beam of destiny. So what you really want to do here, this is all a timing fight, because all he does is he has this little bit where he's hovering around. The laser comes, he's invincible while the laser comes down. He will fire 4 shots out that will deflect bubbles, but directly underneath him is a safe spot. And then he'll swoop and do it all over again. Your goal is to kill him before the second laser comes out. If you kill him after the second but before the third, that's kind of normal and average anyway. You've just lost time, but not a big deal. So either way, you want to kind of slide and jump up here and hit bubbles in. By the way, this fight has ice on the floor down here. So when Mega Man enters the room, let's show that again. When Mega Man enters this room, he's going to kind of slide along the ice because he's going to hit the ground right there. And he's actually starting the fight there. So that's a little different than what you're going to see in refights. So you saw, was that 2 shots or 3 shots that actually connected? I think it's usually 2 shots here that you want to make sure you connect with. 1, 2. Yeah. So now we need 5 to kill him. Oh, I'm messing up this fight. Yeah. So there's the 1 hit point left. You saw several missed shots in there. that's basically how it works. The fight itself is not that hard. It's a little trickier if you need to hit him with Buster and some big shots, just because you're waiting for him to swoop and things are going to deflect everything. Jupiter's just not that bad a kill, especially with Venus. You'll get the kill. It's just a matter of how fast can you get it and how much time you're going to lose from an extra cycle. That's why this run is terrible. I believe this is actually 44.59. So, shoutouts to 3DS right here. This was discovered, or at least discovered, whatever, by VB. This guy here just got taken out by one electric shock. If you're playing this on your 3DS Virtual Console, that enemy doesn't die from this attack. The iframes are just too long. It's really weird. It's a weird mechanic that will play in the next stage when we use a lot of electric shock. But otherwise, your 3DS is fine for learning the game just on a basic level. So that's Jupiter stage. I think we got everything. Mannix is either going to remind me of something or we're going to go to Saturn stage in the next video.